live. We're recording this right now. It is Sunday, November 30th, in between the Sunday night football game after the 4 p.m. games. I'm finally back in North Carolina, Dylan. We had a great Thanksgiving. We got college football to talk about. We got NFL to talk about. It was a great rivalry week. We had Texas A&M, Texas. We had, Arizona State. Arizona helps BYU go to the Big 12 title game. We had the Iron Bowl, which we'll get into a little bit as well. Oregon, Washington. The battle for Tennessee, Vandy, Tennessee. UCLA, USC, battle for Southern Cal. Virginia, Virginia Tech. You name it, we had it this weekend. I don't think I missed any rivalry games, but did I miss one? I think that's all right.
No, I think that's about it. We had a lot of big games, a lot of good games, a lot of meaningful games, and I think you hit all of them.
Yeah, I think
NFL.
that's it.
Any NFL rivalry games that we're missing, or
Rams,
Texans, Colts,
Rams, Panthers.
Rams, Panthers. I would love to put that on A block. That's the first time you're going to hear me say that.
Hey, Dylan, as you act like I'm anti-Dylan all the time, but as a friend of yours, Dylan, as someone who cares about you, I would love to put that on the A block too. I mean, it would be my honor to talk about Bryce Young balling out and this Panthers team beating the best team in the NFL. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, Ohio State 27, Michigan 9.
Yeah. Where do you want to start? This is a lot of people, update as it usually goes. I don't know how much of an update I have for everybody. It is rich. Last year we heard a lot of, game doesn't matter, national championship, game doesn't matter. Now all of a sudden the game is the most important thing in the world, which I find very interesting. It will be interesting. I think best case scenario is they don't win a national championship this year, and we get to truly see what matters. Or let's see who admits that, they're honest with themselves, and they say, hey, whatever we do is the most important, right? Because last year we heard a lot of that. We heard a lot, game, who cares, we won a national championship. And now all of a sudden it seems like it's just kind of pushed off to the side. All that matters is this rivalry. It just seems very convenient, the narrative switch that I've seen the last, over the course of the last couple hours, 24 hours or so. No,
Dylan,
more.
You know what screwed Michigan in this game?
Jeremiah Smith throwing the ball out of the back of the end zone and still getting a touchdown.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
But the main thing that screwed you in this game, Mother Nature didn't hit until like halfway through the third quarter, realistically. You needed that snow to pick up from the 15-minute mark of the first quarter. And now, if that happens, maybe we're talking about a totally different ball game.
Yeah, and a lot of people are going to say, how the snow affects Sane, how you were saying all this about Sane in the snow, look at you now. Well, I mean, he had a 50-plus yard touchdown pass to a Carnell Tate that had no one within 30 feet of him. Like, I can do that in the snow. That's not impressive. That's a Michigan blown coverage. That's on Michigan. We talk cheating. I'm just going to say the Jeremiah Smith touchdown call, watched it back, very suspicious. Very suspicious. And these Ohio State fans that want to be quick about cheating, let's just say, I know an Ohio State guy with a lot of money that would have the money to pay off the refs. Just saying. I'm just saying. And the money's not clean either, Karter.
Is any money clean?
Capitalism, am I right? It's a great point.
Biden's America, Trump's America?
I don't even think it matters.
Yeah, maybe not.
America. Here's what I will say about the game. We started off hot. When Marshall ripped off that first run, I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. It's very clear there's something about Bryce Underwood we don't know. Well, maybe we do know. Maybe we know the decision-making is bad. And maybe that's why they did not have him throw as much until late in the game, which part of me gets. We have that interception. All the momentum's on our side. The Jeremiah Smith touchdown happens, and it's just sucked out of the... It is just... All momentum is sucked out of the big house, and there's no looking back from there. So, honestly, leaving this game... Do you feel any better about Ohio State?
No. I said that to you before we started recording, where I felt the exact same way about both these teams. I predicted this game would be a 14-7 win for Ohio State. It might as well have been a 14-7 win for Ohio State because there were parts I was disappointed with Ohio State. I thought they should run away with it even more. And then Michigan lost the game when they didn't convert that. It didn't score 6 points after that interception. That's when you're a touchdown or a 10-point underdog in a game like that, and you're given the gift of a terrible interception by Julian Sayin, and you drive down the field,
really bad.
you get on the goal line, and you don't punch it in against Ohio State, especially with a freshman quarterback, one that really they don't trust to make decisions like you talked about. That's when Michigan lost the game right there, and I go, oh man, that's bad. That's bad because against this Ohio State defense, how tough it is. Let alone, once again, for a quarterback that completed 8 passes for 63 yards in this game and threw an interception, it's almost going to be impossible for you to get down the field like that again.
Can we turn the cameras off for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Are we still sure this Ohio State defense is as good as everybody is talking about?
No, we're not.
Are we going to be surprised if in Indianapolis next weekend Indiana puts up 30-plus points?
No, I'm not. Ohio State fans are going to be absolutely out of their minds listening to this because one, I want to get in front of Ohio State fans myself because one, they keep DMing me for some reason when I didn't say anything. I said Ohio State was going to win this game anyways. They all think I'm Dylan on the clip or whatever. Anyhow, I want to get out in front of this. One, I said Ohio State was going to win this game. I said it was going to be ugly. All that was true. And I've also said about this Ohio State, they haven't played anyone that really scares me this year. They haven't beaten anybody that scares me this year. We knew what this Michigan team was. This Michigan team was the most unimpressive 9-win team I think I may have ever seen. It's just all.
We won the games we were supposed to win. We won the.
Yeah, okay, great. Nebraska won 7-8 games this year. Nebraska's unimpressive. Nebraska's not that good. And then Ohio State, you play Texas week 1. We kind of know what Texas. I know Texas looks better now later in the year, but come on. Games in Columbus. If that game's played in Austin, Texas, we might be talking about a totally different ball game too. I'm just saying, I'm not willing to go out there and say Ohio State is bona fide, far and away, the best team in America because they have had an easier path than every SEC team.
Specifically talking about Ohio State's defense, even if you want to look at the Texas point, that offense still is not good. Scoring 27 against Texas A&M is probably the average this year. That's not an exceptional offensive performance. So it will be interesting to see how Ohio State performs in the Big Ten championship. They're 5.5-point favorites. Go ahead.
I was going to say, but I know Ryan Day needs to check off the Big Ten box, and he needs to win a Big Ten title, get that, on his resume and everything. At the same time, the Big Ten title game's solely for pride at this point because you could almost get screwed by winning this game based on the upcoming seeding of the college football playoff because the winner of this game is going to be the number 1 seed in the college football playoff. But the loser's the loser's still going to have a bye in this thing.
That's what I was going to ask. The loser is definitely still getting a bye. So
yeah, worst case scenario, you're the 4 seed.
Oh man,
because
it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Let's say I think they're not even going to drop. I think they're going to be the 3 seed. To be honest, if they whoever loses, I don't even think they drop the 4. Especially if it's a competitive game. If you're the 3 seed, you're looking at probably a game against Texas Tech or maybe even Oklahoma in the second round of the college football playoff.
Yeah, I mean, you have to wonder how much it matters nowadays. I don't think that's crazy. The Big Ten or any conference championship, unless you're one of those group of 5 that's fighting for not an at-large, but an automatic qualifying bid, it means a lot less, right?
Yep.
So it'll be interesting. I do want to end with this. We can put a bow on it. Brutus, absolutely disgusting work crossing out the M, right, putting Ohio in the snow. Here's what I will say, and I've said it since day one. Ohio State, Buckeyes, fans, students, they're out busy taping over every M. Michigan grads, Michigan fan out there curing cancer. That's what we do. Disgusting from Brutus. And I think that it's interesting to see the outcome of this game. Ohio State fans, they're so excited about this. This is the new bar for Ohio State, winning the games you're supposed to win. You were a 12-point favorite at one point. You were supposed to win this game handedly, and you did. And that's apparently what Ohio State fans are hanging their hat on now.
How'd you feel about the post game with Ryan Day and all that?
What specifically? The win with class?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we relay that message to Brutus too, or maybe we include him in the pregame meets, because that wasn't class. That was the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen from a program ever, and I've seen the Oregon Duck fall on purpose, and his hat come off, his head come off. And if you're referring to the Michigan men protecting the M, that's what we do, right? It's we're not going to have them come in and plant their flag on our field, and we didn't successfully.
We've talked about Ohio State, how it doesn't feel how we change about them going forward. Obviously, everyone's going to feel the same, feel great about them going to the postseason. Last thing on Michigan for me, I feel like every Michigan fan is just in this weird relationship with Sharon Moore, where we all know he's not the guy for this job, especially long term. But you don't have enough reason to fire him yet. You have the progress of this year. You can point to 9-3. You can point to winning, multiple games against Ohio State. But also, I don't think any Michigan fan believes in him or feels great about Sharon Moore.
No, I will confidently say, as a Michigan fan, and I did not do this with Harbaugh. I was very adamant about Harbaugh's the guy. I do not think that Sharon Moore is the guy. I would not care to see him relieved of his duties in the offseason. I don't think it will happen. I think they will give him the Bryce Underwood era. And that's a whole other part of this. Is he going to develop and be a better quarterback? Who knows? We will see. And maybe if they keep him next year, we'll be telling, let's see what he does with this much talent. We'll see. We're still a very young team. I think that's important to remember, too. The J.J. McCarthy era, we had tons of players that have played over 1,000 snaps, and now it's just not the case. So it is not super concerning as a Michigan fan, but I don't think Moore is the guy.
No, I don't think he's the guy whatsoever. But can I defend Bryce Underwood a tiny bit?
Sure. I'll defend him, too.
Who's he throwing to on this team?
Yeah, that's not the right defense. Donovan McCulley, I think he was close to a 1,000-yard receiver at Indiana last year. And then Jordan Marsh. That doesn't fly with me. But I will give him...
I watch the... Maybe that's play calling then, because when I watch these games, Underwood missed some throws in the Ohio State game, but all season, I just felt like these Michigan wide receivers weren't creating hardly any separation. And maybe it's just solely... they're not calling plays for Bryce to throw deep because they just don't trust him. Maybe that's just more of that.
I think that's true. He missed throws. He was throwing behind guys in the flat quite a few times. But
I'm saying outside Ohio State game. He was bad in the Ohio State game.
Yeah, he has the talent. I think that's the thing. My Michigan fan brain, he has the talent. We know he has the arm talent. He can run. I think it's two parts. I think the first part, and what this all stems around, is they don't trust him to make decisions, and rightfully so. The kid's 18 years old. He's playing these major games. He's tasked with being the starter on day one. I don't hold that against him that much. Now, if we see the bad decisions into next year, that's a problem. But a part of that is the second part, which is the coaches don't trust him to make those decisions. And that's where you see the simplified play calling. That's where you see the little 5-yard throws short of the sticks. So where I stand with Bryce, I'm confident in him. I think he's our quarterback for next year, quarterback of the future. If we see early signs of that decision-making being poor, that's a problem. That's a problem. So, as a Michigan, 9-3, technically over the win total, right? 8.5?
They're 8.5, yeah.
I think we're 8.5. So it's right on line with expectations. I would expect more next year, but man, our schedule. We got Oregon, we got Indiana, we have Oklahoma again. It's gonna be tough. We don't need to be talking about next year on the recap show. But that's my Michigan take. Ohio State fans, be better. Your standards should be above winning games as a 12-point favorite.
Honestly, we kind of do need to start thinking about next year because Lane Kiffin moves on to LSU.
Oh, dude.
And, what a saga this weekend. Let's start off. Egg Bowl Friday. Egg Bowl happens. They whoop Mississippi State. And then Lane Kiffin goes up to a local podcaster or beat writer, and because the beat writer used the line, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, describing the Lane Kiffin situation. And Lane Kiffin is like, you can't be calling me a hoe and all this stuff like that. And then meanwhile, Lane Kiffin decides, you know what, Ole Miss, I'm good. I'm going to use every ounce of leverage against you guys, and then I'm going to still take the LSU job and leave you guys and leave you for the postseason. I want to start here. For anybody that's like, oh, Lane Kiffin, that he should still be able to coach with his team and all this stuff going in the college football playoff. No, he shouldn't. If I'm an Ole Miss fan, I want him out of there, gone. If you're not willing to stick with this team that has a chance to win a national title, genuine chance to win a national title this year, and you're just going to throw it away to go to LSU, get out of here. I don't want you coaching this team this year. Why on earth would you want him coaching your team at this point? He's dead to you.
So here, from an Ole Miss administration perspective, you have to value the national. Like, how much do you value the national championship? Do you value it enough to keep Lane in there and get you there? Do you think he's the guy to get you there this year? Or are you okay cutting ties and maybe having those chances reduced a little bit?
Let me ask you this. How much of his focus do you think would have been on the national championship, and how much would his focus and his staff's focus that's going to LSU with him had been on the transfer portal opening up here soon and all that, and figuring out, okay, what's next for this team in Baton Rouge?
I don't think his focus would have been as high as if he was staying, obviously. But then the question becomes, does Ole Miss's national championship prospects fall with Lane staying and it not being a priority, the same as having your defensive coordinator step in as the head coach for the first time in the playoffs? That's the question that probably needs answered. And I don't know the answer to that question. The more I think about it, the more I side with you, Karter. As bad of podcasting as it is, I didn't think he was going to leave in the first place. I think you've built something up from when you took it over in 2020, and you've been in conversations for the play. I mean, you were in playoff talks last year. This year, you're almost 100% in the playoffs, and you're going to have a chance to play for a national championship, and you leave. I like Lane Kiffin. I like what he does with the social media. He seems like a cool, funny guy. This is a scummy move, but I think to be a successful SEC coach, you have to have a little bit of that scum in you.
Oh, that's a great point.
Pause.
I think that's a great point because I think you do have to have that a little bit. And yeah, like I don't blame, and also I want to say this too. Like, I don't blame him for taking the LSU job and all that. I don't. But don't act surprised and don't act offended or anything when Ole Miss administration's like, all right, then get out of here. Like, we don't want you then. You don't want to be here, then we don't want you here. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, we're gonna figure out our next stuff and we're gonna move on from you because that's what you're doing with us.
We gotta fix this. We gotta fix the transfer portal stuff. I think. It is not. I think it's better for college football when these coaches can stay with their programs. Like, it's better for college football if Lane Kiffin stays with Ole Miss throughout the entirety of the playoffs. And that's why he's leaving right now, right? To be able to transfer and to get transfers and recruit and everything. It's the same thing we saw with Bo Pribula last year. He transferred to Missouri before the playoffs even started, and Penn State was in there. We need to fix that somehow, and then we avoid situations like this because it would have been good for Lane to stay at Ole Miss and then take the job after the playoffs are over.
Yeah, and also shout out that beat writer for Ole Miss or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I know a lot of people were dogging him and clowning him or whatever because like, oh, he looked scared when Kiffin came up to him and everything like that. He was right.
The good journalists are the ones in Saudi Arabia getting stoned, asking the tough questions. That's what I mean. We laugh, but that's serious. Those are the good journalists. You don't want those yes men. Oh, Lane, you might be going to LSU. What can you say about possibly leaving Ole Miss? No, we want the guys quoting Ludacris.
And this is the funniest part about it too. It's so ironic. Lane Kiffin, after all these years, finally gets over the hump. Finally gets into the college football playoff, especially after last year's disaster against Florida with Jackson Dart. And then coming into this year, you finally get over the hump, and then you don't even get to coach in the college football playoff yet. It just encapsulates his career kind of perfectly. But on top of that, like once again, I like Lane Kiffin. Think he's an unbelievable coach. Think LSU hit a home run higher, and LSU's probably going to be great in year 1 next year.
You think?
Yeah.
Year 1.
I mean, you see this Ole Miss team?
This isn't year 1. This is year 5.
You see this Ole Miss team on the field right now?
Yeah.
This team's going to be playing in Baton Rouge, and they're all going to be wearing purple and gold.
I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to. That seems like some hype that I'm going to fade when we do our 2026 SEC preview, which I'm very excited about.
All right. Well, we'll get to 2026 when we get to 2026.
I love it. Seriously, not ironically. Is there anything specifically you wanted to hit in college football? I have a couple things.
Yeah. One thing, if Ole Miss now in the playoff talks and everything, if Florida State got dinged for not having their quarterback, shouldn't Ole Miss be dinged for not having their head coach and a lot of their offensive staff?
Ole Miss?
Yeah.
They had him.
What do you mean?
What are you talking about? Oh,
So-
you're saying that they should be downgraded in the because because they haven't played a game without him. If they played 3 games without him and they lost all 3 of those games, then yes, but
No. Florida State played 1 game, which was the ACC title game. Okay, 2 games without Jordan Travis, and guess what? They won those games.
And they looked awful.
Doesn't matter. They won the games.
I think it's different when you have games you played without them and there's a noticeable difference. That would be my argument
just
for
convenient bias.
What? So that's not. I don't care about Ole Miss. I don't care about Florida State. But here's a serious question I want to ask. If what you're saying is true, and again, the people are going to clown me. I bet on football. I don't have to know these things to bet on football. What keeps Simmons, Chamblee, all these guys? I mean, they're going to have to enter the transfer portal when it opens, right? Are they going to play in the playoffs? Why would they play in the playoffs if they know they're going to LSU with Lane Kiffin? Why would these Ole Miss players play?
Because they have a chance to win a national championship. They can still play.
So does
It doesn't
Lane.
matter. And then they can just transfer once the season ends.
So does Lane.
No, he doesn't. Lane had to take. LSU probably gave him an ultimatum and said, "You need to take this job now." And Ole Miss was probably so offended by all this, they said, "Look, you're thinking about Baton Rouge. You're thinking about LSU. You're not worried about us. We don't want you coaching here the rest of the way."
So you're telling me there's no world where Lane is going. Let's use Chambliss for an example. He contacts him and says, "Hey, don't play. Come to LSU. We want you healthy for LSU next year."
Oh, you're saying like could that happen?
Yeah. Why are the players, if they know they're going to go to LSU with Lane, like why don't they go? And why don't they just not play in the playoffs? I guess is my question. And say not get hurt for the sake of Lane and LSU.
Because they actually have a chance to go win a national championship. Why not just go try and win one, and then go after that? And also, and on top of that, there might be NIL stipulations with that as well if you leave early.
That's true. I didn't think about that. Okay, I just could see Lane reaching out to some of these guys and saying, "Hey, I want you at LSU with me next year. Don't hurt yourself in the playoffs. Fake an injury or whatever in the first game, a quarter in, and let that be that."
I think you should just not have Ole Miss in the playoff entirely.
Oh,
probably put a team of Provo in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why would you be interested in that? I got Texas in there.
I've got about 1 week of pushing more BYU propaganda but that's all I got, Dylan. I got one last push. This is like a company doing their Black Friday sales. I got to push BYU propaganda for 7 more days as a last-ditch effort.
We got to get some Diego Pavia propaganda going too for Heisman. We got to get something going.
Woof. It's very convenient Connor's not here right now with Bryce Young balling out today. Tennessee just absolutely getting the doors blown off them by Vandy. UNC getting the doors blown off by them against NC State.
Duke, Duke.
Dylan.
Yeah, of course, he was never shown up for this show.
Not me, but a show's for L's for you right now. Give ourselves a pat on the back and a round of applause. We called this in the preseason that the Duke Blue Devils would be playing for an ACC title, and that they would be going to the college football playoff. I think it's an absolute disservice that the Duke Blue Devils might not be making the college football playoff, even as a Power 4 conference champ. They should be in. And
So can I tell you a secret?
what?
I have Duke to make the playoff around 10-1. It's like plus 940.
Same here.
I will be pushing for that, but I am not against a scenario where we see North Texas in the playoff.
Well, no, that doesn't matter.
Why?
Those aren't exclusive because North Texas, they're playing the AAC championship against Tulane, right? Okay, well,
so.
we got to get stats departments on this before we look like fools. Yeah, Friday night.
Okay, so you're
That's
saying
the AAC championship game is a college football playoff game.
but they are not. So let's say North Texas wins. They're not going to put North Texas and JMU?
They would put both of
JMU's
them
not
in.
rated higher than Duke?
JMU's rated higher than Duke. They would put North Texas and JMU in over Duke.
That's what I'm saying is I want Duke in, but there's also a part of me that would love to see how this North Texas team would.
They could, but North Texas and Duke have no relationship. It's just JMU.
Well, you have 5 conference champions.
Yeah.
So you'd have SEC, Big 10, Big 12, American, and what's the JMU?
Sunbelt.
So that's 5. Duke wouldn't be in.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. We need JMU to lose.
Okay, that's why you confused me. They're 24-point favorites.
I know. We need a miracle.
They're not losing. Quit that. Listen, there's no way North Texas and Duke get in. Unless JMU loses, but that's not happening.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. North Texas and Duke are not like they don't matter.
They're not mutually exclusive, but the odds of both of those teams getting in are what? 0.5%?
Do you have
Duke's
both?
got to win their game first.
Do you have a North Texas ticket?
No, but I think they would be one of the more fun teams to watch play Alabama, Ole Miss, Indiana, Ohio State. I mean, Mestamaker, if he was playing for a Power 4 team, would be the Heisman.
Yeah,
there's no doubt. I mean, that's 100% facts.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious that the AAC title game might be. It is. It's truly a college football play-in game.
So, okay. I'm sorry. We don't need to get too in the weeds here. We're going to be able to do this plenty of times. JMU wins, North Texas wins, Duke wins. Is it JMU and North Texas?
Yes, that's it.
So Duke's not getting in unless JMU loses.
That's the only way Duke gets in is if JMU loses,
Yeah,
or if they randomly deem Duke higher rated than JMU.
That win against Virginia would have to be probably pretty convincing, or do heavy lifting like this.
Yeah,
this week.
If Duke came in on Saturday and put up won by 50 against Virginia, that could change things.
Interesting. Okay. All right. That was my North Texas minute.
All right. Well, I'm excited for conference title week. I mean, BYU right now 13.5-point underdog. Whew. That's a lot of points.
Can I tell you a secret?
Huh.
Turn the cameras off again.
Yep. Boop.
That's a lot of points.
Too
many points, I think. I think that's too many points.
I think it's too many points, too.
So, what do we have to do to get UNLV in here? Shout out the stats. Shout out analytics.
Shout out analytics. If you don't know what we're talking about right now, analytics, quote-unquote, deep analytics got UNLV in over Boise State in the Mountain West title game. This also screwed us, Dylan, by the way, in the MAC because Toledo got boned by deep analytics, and Miami of Ohio, who lost to Ohio and Toledo, got in over them, which makes no sense. But also, I mean, Duke lost some head-to-head against these other teams, and they're getting. Go ahead.
Can I? UNLV and Boise played.
Yeah.
Boise beat them. I love the analytics, but I don't get it. And I also have an issue with these sites that publish all of these, outcomes, what needs to happen for each team to reach their conference championship. Because I read somewhere all Toledo needed to do was beat Central Michigan, and they were clearly wrong.
Yeah, no, because that's what I'm saying. It's all these conferences sign up for these crazy deep analytic bullcrap that makes no sense.
I'm pro analytics though. Pro UNLV.
Are you pro analytics that you don't know?
Am I pro black box? That's what we call it in the biz. If it favors me, yes.
Okay, that's the right answer.
Like I do like analytics for the Mountain West, but I don't think the analytics fits the MAC that well. Because it was not conducive to the outcome I wanted. San Diego State, New Mexico last week, awesome game. This is for all the sickos out there. Overtime, almost, well, honestly, we thought at the time possibly a de facto semifinal game. What are you laughing at over there, Karter?
This is I love this podcast because meanwhile we've got like Texas upsetting A&M and we've got
that doesn't matter.
The top 25 games and everything.
Doesn't matter.
Meanwhile, we're just like San Diego State, New Mexico, awesome game if you bet the over.
You better stop me before I start talking about Western Kentucky, Jacksonville State for Fun Belt.
I thought we were about to do the Pavia Heisman propaganda.
We could do that too. Most all-purpose yards, most all-purpose touchdowns.
18 to 28, 268, one touchdown. I'm not going to mention the interceptions to push this propaganda, but 20 carries, 165 on the ground, and a touchdown. I mean, against a stifling, elite Tennessee defense. Is that what you
really
wanted?
Much improved Tennessee defense as well. Here's the roadblock we're going to see. Mendoza and Sayin are like plus 150 each. They're pretty even. And we are going to need like a 10-3 Big Ten championship for Pavia to even have a chance at this. He's like 5-1, which isn't crazy. But I think it's possible. I think we could will this. He does have some stats to back it up. He doesn't have the completion percentage of Sayin. He doesn't have the total passing touchdowns like Mendoza. But he has the most all-purpose touchdowns, most all-purpose yards. Kind of a Jaden Daniels-esque player.
I think he's just been the better player out of those three, to be honest, this season. Like, yeah, Sayin has the stats to back it up. Sayin also has the wide receiver room to back it up and the offensive line and the defense to back it up to make life pretty freaking easy for him. Pavia's playing at Vanderbilt and playing in the SEC week in, week out. I'm sorry, in the Big Ten right now, playing against Rutgers, Purdue, Minnesota, Nebraska, those aren't tough teams. They're just not. Playing against, I know people make fun of the SEC all the time and everything. You know who's a tough team to play against? The Auburn Tigers. They've played every single team close all season. Meanwhile, they're going down as a 5-7 team. Arguably should have won 10-11 games this year.
You've said that. It's they just had a little bit of an offense.
If Auburn had an average head coach and an average quarterback, they are playing in the college football playoff, and I would be picking them as a national title contender. Average
maybe next year?
I don't know. We'll see with Golish.
Vanderbilt beat number 12 preseason ranked South Carolina by 24.
Yeah, not many people did that except Clemson.
No, not a lot.
What a funny game that was. Clemson, South Carolina. Clemson wins that rivalry game, and both those teams so hyped up coming into the year and just so butt cheeks at the end of the year.
The ultimate doesn't matter bowl. We thought it was going to matter at the beginning of the year. It ended up not mattering.
Ugh.
Gross.
Couple more things. Cal winning that game as a 13-point underdog just describes the ACC perfectly. Just hilarious. Getting Duke into the college football playoff. Auburn, once again, I know I mentioned them before. Alabama just conveniently gets. You talk about the Chiefs getting brought down the field with the rest. Alabama just got handed that game by the refs at the end. Handed that game.
Well, you mentioned this.
And then meanwhile, I'm getting texts from you and Connor specifically going, I don't know, he went kind of low on the quarterback a little bit on that roughing the passer. Like, what are you talking about? If this was North Carolina playing, you would be throwing it to a remote at the TV saying, of course Alabama gets this. What are we talking about here? That was a terrible call. Auburn got screwed in that game. Auburn has been the most screwed teams by refs this year, without question. And
is that true?
Yes. Yes.
We need to find a way to quantify that.
Way to quantify that. Did you watch the Georgia game?
I did. I think I bet on Auburn.
My light fell. There was like, I can't believe this.
You're getting too worked up. Come on.
I'm getting too worked up about the 5-7 Auburn Tigers, which I said were my sleeper this year, and I was not wrong. I want everyone to know I was not wrong about the Auburn Tigers. They're a good football team, and every Auburn fan
their
out there,
defense is good.
Every Auburn fan out there, I feel you. The weapons are so good on this team. It's just they have such a bad quarterback. Cam Coleman, Singleton. Oh my gosh, man. Even Jeremiah Cobb's good. Yeah. Anyhow, I got to quit talking about them.
Can I say something about that game real quick?
Yeah.
We need more skybox. That is the best way to watch a college football game.
I wish they were able to sync it up with like Herb Street and those guys. I didn't like it having without the commentary.
No, I like the no commentary, and I don't even hate her. I like Herb Street. Fowler, I could do without. But I loved the angles. I loved hearing the in-stadium announcer. That was my. It was like. This is going to sound dumb. You're when you hear the announcers going crazy, it's like you think big play, and then as you're watching it, it's like more hyped. It's a very neutral way to watch a football game, which I appreciate.
It is really weird because I think it was the first touchdown Ty Simpson threw. If you're watching on the Skycam, it made that throw look so much better than on the regular broadcast. Regular broadcast, it looks like pressure's coming and, he fits it in there, whatever. On the Skycam, you're like, oh my gosh, there are 4 300-pound men trying to kill this guy, and he just threw a dime as they're tackling him in between two corners right there to Isaiah Horton. Like it gives you a lot more appreciation for this stuff too. And Ty Simpson, Dylan, I forgot what I was going to say.
Skybox, Ty Simpson.
Skybox. They miss. They got to be a little more on the ball. They missed a couple of spots where you're like, I can't see the quarterback here.
Okay, maybe they can note that for next year.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get a skybox for the SEC championship, right? I would think so. ESPN.
I think you get like the local radio broadcast on TV too with that.
Gee, zip. Are they doing a Pat McAfee simulcast?
They better be.
They better be.
I love Pat McAfee.
Oh,
man. Obligated to say that. Can't even say words today. My goodness. Georgia Tech, whatever game. That game was utterly useless, and you could see it kind of on the field, to be honest. No one really cared about that one. Arizona finally exposes Jeff Sims like the quarterback we all know he is. And last thing I have on college football before like the college football playoff stuff or whatever, and I'll say this again on the preview show, but can we stop with the USC as a good win?
No.
Yes.
No.
Because way too many teams are using USC as their best win to get into the playoff. And, USC is this great team. This is, they should be in the play. USC is fine.
They're good. They're a ranked team. That's a ranked win. That is a quality ranked win. No, I mean, you count that as a ranked win, and you don't have to add an asterisk next to it.
So would you say a win over USC or a win over Utah would be better?
Can I tell you, without thinking, can I tell you what my gut said?
USC because you have Big Ten bias.
No, Utah.
Okay. Good.
That was my gut. No stats, just gut.
So gut would tell you Utah's the better win there. And then if one team had 2 losses against a team outside the top 10 and then another team in the top 10 and then another team that beat Utah had a top 10 loss as well on the road, which team should get into the playoff at that point?
I don't know.
The one with the fewer losses, right? The fewer losses.
You're right. That's called in reasoning. It's a logical fallacy. It's hasty generalization. You're not giving me enough details. You're just saying blanket things.
Well, I feel like it's important to give a bit of blind resumes because to eliminate biases throughout college football, which we see constantly. Just interesting that Notre Dame's best win is USC. And they lost 2 close ones to top 10 teams, but
at the beginning of the year.
But meanwhile, BYU only 1 loss to a top 10 team and wins the rest of their games. and has a better win on their resume too and fewer losses. And they'll be playing in a conference championship game too, which honestly they'll probably be punished for. I just think that's interesting. Now,
you want BYU to win?
If BYU were to win their conference title game, they should be getting a top 4 seed.
Well, yeah.
But they won't. They're not going to jump BYU 7 spots.
I think you could jump them over A&M.
Okay, A&M, Texas. Would you jump them over Texas Tech? Probably.
Probably have to. You don't have to, but probably. Depends how the game looks, but probably.
But
who else?
They're
who
not
else in front of them?
Georgia,
Oregon,
Bama,
Georgia
Oklahoma.
loses. They'll jump Oklahoma. They'll jump
Notre
Georgia
Dame.
if they lose. Obviously, if they win, they won't. Oregon, they'll jump. I think if BYU wins against Texas Tech, you have to have them jump those that didn't play in their conference championship, I would think. I don't know. You want to buy though? Wouldn't you want? I don't know.
Yes.
For a program like BYU, I feel like it'd be pretty important to have a home playoff game.
No, I want to buy.
Okay, is that because you're not in Utah?
If I was in Utah, I'd definitely want the. But as a fan,
there we go.
As a fan, I just want the easiest path.
How much revenue do you think that brings in for BYU? How much money do they get to keep from hosting a game? They probably want. They probably don't want the buy.
Dylan, they need the revenue right now because they're going to have to give Kalani Sitake and company a big pay raise because Penn State's a calling.
Prediction markets beg to differ. That's just what I'll say. I'm getting my butt handed to me.
Brian Daboll moving up.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So, and here's what I will say about that too. If you're BYU, if you're an administrator in the athletic department, look, can we be real here, Carter? You and I. Camera's off again.
Boop.
There's no chance you guys win the national championship. So you want to milk that cow for as much as you can because the bye, you might think it gives you an advantage. Oh, we get an extra week to rest. It doesn't matter. You will lose somewhere along the line.
It depends who you're playing.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely not.
Absolutely does. If
You play an SEC team, you're screwed.
Because at that point, if they're playing Texas Tech if they can beat Texas Tech at a neutral site, then they can beat anybody they can beat any of these teams in the country.
If they beat Texas Tech at a neutral site, they can beat any team in the country.
Yes, I believe that.
I don't even think you can say that. Texas Tech is. I'm looking at this schedule here. I mean, they haven't played an SEC team. It's a different game. Different game, Carter.
Different game.
Different game down south.
Or it's just a different game in the Big 12.
What? It is. It's a different game.
It's tougher
but not
game
in the
Big
same
12.
way that I'm speaking of.
Yeah, it's a much better game in the Big 12. It's tougher. It's a better game. That's it. The best players come out of
Now
Big 12.
I want you guys to make the playoffs. Oh my gosh, DeBoer, it's gonna be bad. DeBoer.
Did you see Puka Nakua's catch today?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the one-handed catch.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
I like my receivers catching it with two hands, but
yeah, I'll give you credit. You've always been consistent with that.
I've always been a two-hand guy.
We got conference previews to talk about this week.
I'm so excited. Can I hot take? Hot take. I love college football. I love it. I try to do all of my research and get my bets in on Monday. It's kind of nice to only have 12 or so games and not have it be a multi-hour long process.
What do you mean?
I'm kind of happy that things are winding down a little bit. We've got our 12, 13, 14 weeks in, and now I get to look at 12 or so games, or 9, 8, however many games it is, compared to a full college football slate.
I don't want to hear it come July when you'd be sitting on your couch begging for a San Diego State versus New Mexico game.
I love it when it's happening, but now it's withdrawal season. That's what it is. It's withdrawal season. So now it's like, okay, I got 8 games. I don't need $300 sitting in the Bet365 account. I can maybe take a little bit. I bought a 3D printer. Just got delivered.
Oh, it is withdrawal season because shout out Duke, shout out Utah, shout out BYU,
shout out UCF, and in turn shout out BYU. I was bad there for a second. I was worried.
We did pretty well in our season win totals.
We really did. We'll have to revisit those conference graphics we put out. Now, here's what I'll say. College football, I hit my 5-star play. Everybody was like, that's gross, Dylan, disgusting. Hit, no problem. How did we end up doing there? Do you remember? I don't remember what the legs were.
Ooh, I do.
Bad? Were you the only one that lost?
Yeah, I lost on Friday night.
Oh,
Connor hit Duke Wake over, and that hit with the utmost of flying colors. And it was Arizona State over 48.5.
Oh, yeah, I had that too. That was rough. Are we putting a bow on college football?
Real quick,
yeah.
Last two things. One, ESPN headline right now is Lane Kiffin, quote, "It was really difficult to leave Ole Miss for LSU."
Shut your mouth.
I know. Breaking news.
Whatever.
Then Florida hires Tulane head coach John Summerall.
Yeah.
So what's the deal there? Is he able to keep coaching?
Is it different for a program like that? Do you think maybe that decision waits until they play that conference championship game? Do you think maybe if they make
I think you're right. If you're Tulane administration, you're like, hey man, we appreciate everything you've given us. Keep coaching this team.
But then if they win the conference championship, is that where they draw the line in the sand and say, okay, we don't want you coaching anymore? Or does it just mean more because it's Tulane and not Ole Miss?
I think it's more so that. And because Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin are ending on bad terms. I don't think John Summerall and Tulane are ending on bad terms. Summerall was going to get the North Carolina job last year if it wasn't for Belichick.
So what's the difference here between good terms and bad terms?
Because you're going to a direct competitor. Tulane and Florida, it doesn't matter. And Tulane, you have to understand, if you're a group of 5 team, you understand being a stepping stone going into. And I'm sure Summerall was a lot more upfront with, the personnel at Tulane saying, hey, I'm likely going to go for one of these Power 5 jobs. And they knew the game the whole time. But Ole Miss, you're going to their direct competitor. You're going to a rival in LSU.
It is interesting. I thought about this today. Which programs what Power 4 programs take other Power 4 coaches, and which ones are willing to roll the dice on a group of 5 coach? Like we see Pat Summerall go to Florida. Was it Arkansas that hired Memphis' head coach yesterday or today? Someone hired Memphis' head coach. It was a Power 4 school. And you see some of these like lower tier Power 4 programs hiring these rolling the dice a little bit, maybe getting a discount on these group of 5 coaches. And then you see programs like Virginia Tech that are rolling out the red carpet for guys like James Franklin. It's very interesting to see. I don't have any opinions or takes on it yet, but let's keep an eye on that for next year. The group of 5 coaches versus the Power 4 coaches that go from Power 4 to Power 4.
It's also funny, too, that Florida hires their last coach from group of 5 and from the state of Louisiana and Billy Napier. And then they're going back and doing the exact same thing this time around, too.
Run back.
And then, you look at all these head coaching, the coaching carousel and everything. I think Virginia Tech's the winner out of everyone. Like, obviously, you're going to say Lane Kiffin and LSU, but for where Virginia Tech was and what I think James Franklin will be able to do with that program going forward and the NIL he's going to be given with that program, I think that's the biggest home run hire because that program's going to change overnight, in my opinion.
So here's the problem I have with that argument. Did he not have the NIL at Penn State?
He had the NIL and everything. I don't disagree with that, but he's also playing in the Big Ten. He's now playing at Virginia Tech.
So you think he's going... I will agree with you on that. The competition is going to be easier for James Franklin moving forward. But are you going to tell me that Virginia Tech's NIL budget is going to be on par with Penn State's relative to the competition they're facing?
That's a loaded question right there. I mean,
No, I mean, how do you need me?
It'll
How
be
can I
at the top
unload
of the
it?
It'll be probably top of the ACC and NIL funding is what I'm
So
getting
that's
at
all going to change next year.
for Virginia Tech.
So they hire
Yes.
James Franklin. They're going to greatly increase in their NIL.
Yes, that is confirmed.
Okay.
And
All right, we'll see. I don't know. I am cautiously okay. Yeah.
But
okay.
what I'm saying with Virginia Tech is from where they were. Like, Virginia Tech is a 3-win team this year, a 4-win team. They've been terrible ever since Beamer left. Now they're going to be in conversations for the ACC title going forward. Now, I'm not saying they're going to go be a national title contender or anything like Penn State was for a minute, but they're going to be an ACC title contender year after year under Franklin, in my opinion.
Can you say the same thing about Arkansas?
Ryan Silverfield?
You're just your argument would then be competition is tougher.
Competition would be tougher, but we've seen
Like
James Franklin do it at basically the highest level. We haven't seen Ryan Silverfield do. I mean, yeah, Memphis has been a solid program, but I think it's a bit of a difference going from AAC to the SEC.
Okay, that's fair. We'll let it play out. I have no immediate arguments there that I can think of.
Yeah, a lot of Group of 5 coaches. Shout out these guys. A lot of the coaches getting pay raises too because they're getting all these offers and they're like, yeah, you know what? I'll just stay here and get a fat pay raise. Good for them. Good for them.
Inflation.
But we got conference championships to preview for college football and
So
everything. Very excited about that. ACC, Duke, Virginia might have to be the A block, Dylan.
Duke, Virginia is going to be a good one. UNLV, Boise,
Tech.
or no, UNLV. Is it Boise? UNLV, Boise. It'll be a good one.
Real quick for that game, I can't believe we're talking Group of 5 conference title games, but real quick. Okay. Just had to double check. Wanted to make sure to figure out where that game was. Game's in Boise.
Oh, is it? I thought they played that at Allegiant.
I did too, but that was just I think, yeah.
So we're getting a conference championship blue field?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Don't know how I feel about that off the rip.
Yeah. So
that's significant home. That's 5-point home field advantage. Not just 3, that's 5-point home field advantage.
Yeah. I'm also, hand up, I will be boycotting the MAC title game. We will not be allowed to be talking about the MAC title game because I don't agree with what they did to Toledo.
Yeah, don't like the analytics. Anti-analytics on this podcast.
Anti-MAC analytics.
Yes, anti-MAC. I was trying to find one word to MAC-analytics. Anti-MAC-analytics.
Nice. Okay. I love it.
We got it.
I love it. I do love it. I can't. I'm not allowed to say I love it anymore on this podcast, am I?
You can say it. We just know when you don't actually love it.
I do love that.
If it's preceded by 3 seconds of silence, then you don't actually love it. You just that's your equivalent of next.
Dang, I should just do it like when someone's telling you a story, and you're just like, dang, that's crazy. Wow,
yeah, that's crazy.
No, that's crazy. Holy
wow,
crap, man. No way.
That's awesome. That's mine. That is awesome. That is cool. That is super cool. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Sorry if anybody's listening to this and I've ever pulled that out on you before. I was also supposed to say something. I don't think they listen to the show. I don't know why my mother-in-law said this. I watched the Ohio State-Michigan game with my in-laws, and they're very respectful. They're all Ohio State fans. They're very respectful. They're very nice. And I was supposed to shout that out. I don't know if they've heard me talk ill will about them before. I highly doubt it, but I found it odd that she brought that up. So I will say that it was respectful.
Okay, good to hear. Good to hear.
Okay, I want to shout that out.
Speaking of that, went to Wicked, and I sent you the review.
That was the funniest. So I do have something. Why ham? Turkey.
There was turkey and ham, but we have to we can't. That's why the video didn't get posted. Was because the ham part.
Can I? I'm sniffing Kizzy. I think the spills were staged.
Brother.
The popcorn and the soda. I mean, you spilled the soda and the popcorn in the same video.
maybe I'll release it. So I
Just
forgot
cut
to do the popcorn review, the popcorn soda review for Dylan at the theaters. So I got home. I went home from the theaters by myself. They all went to go play games. I was ill. I was feeling terrible. I was like, I gotta get home. I can't even think right now. I feel awful.
Where do they go to play games?
Other family's house. I went back to their house. There's other family in the area, and so I was there by myself with the dog. And I was like, crap, I forgot to get Dylan a cup review. I still had the soda and I still had the popcorn. And I was like, all right, let's do this video. I do the video, and I'm recording, and I pick up, and it's one of those Pepsi paper cups or whatever. They don't have like the nice theater cups or whatever. Pick it up. I squeeze it too hard. The lid pops open, spills all. The soda wasn't a bad spill. It was a little bit. And it fell on the table and the chair. It's just a disaster. And then I go to pick up the popcorn, but I was recording at the same time. The dog is coming up and like trying to get pet while I'm doing the video, and it was just a disaster. Spilled the popcorn everywhere, all over the floor. The dog just ate so much popcorn.
That was hilarious. Dogs aren't supposed to eat popcorn, right?
I don't know. PETA, shout out PETA, but he likes the popcorn.
Is he still with us?
Oh yeah, that dog's
okay. Well, there we go. So no harm, no foul.
Yeah, I was sitting there just trying to scrounge up the popcorn. I'm getting ready to throw up because I feel terrible. I'm sick. It's like, oh my gosh, this is awful.
Abby and I both laughed out loud. It was a very funny video, but after a couple rewatches, I'm a bit skeptical on the authenticity of specifically the popcorn spill.
I hand on everything,
but it was hilarious.
That was as legitimate as it possibly could have been, because I was like, I need to make this a 20-second video just to appease Dylan and get out of here. And when I spilled that popcorn, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I had to sit there and get on my knees.
If it was on purpose, it was great comedic timing too. So it's like, it's almost no harm, no foul in that sense too. If it wasn't on purpose, it's hilarious. If it was on purpose, the fact that you thought of that makes it funny as well.
Yeah, it wasn't on purpose at all, because I was on my hands and knees picking up popcorn while I'm trying to swat the dog away, trying to clean it up.
Bad movie?
Movie's fine. I just have to realize, Dylan, there's movies out there that aren't made for me.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
like that's what I've come to. I'm just like, look, there's people out there that like these movies. I'm not one of them, so I'm not gonna sit here and just go on and keep bashing them and everything. Like, Marvel movies, they're not made for me. They're not made for semi-mature adults. You know?
Wow. There's someone on this show that really likes Marvel movies.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Oh, Connor, where art thou, Connor?
Bryce Young, I don't feel so good.
Oh, brother. We gotta get him on contract basis now. He's not full time anymore.
Yeah, I know. We gotta get this contract in order. We gotta get KarterKast. We do have a KarterKast lawyer on retainer, so we'll get that.
I love it.